And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second round of the Rejectrucks Super Series inaugural season. Sandra Sessler in the number 18 Twinings to Toyota has taken her first pole position with Dmitry Vitkin, the oldest driver on the grid, on the outside of the front row. Yaelin Mori and Joaquin Marco make up row 2. Ryan Zimmer and Rick DeGlide Jr. in row 3. The local team, the Rojo team, with Terry Stein and Ernesto Raya in row 4. Richie Foley and former NASCAR driver Manny Geinhardt Jr. looking a lot for the 17 truck today. German Sasha Hawk and Wayne Shepard in row 6. Gardner and Delvecchio in truck number 22 in row number 7. Row 8 is Lance Brown, the number 41 machine. And Svangere, the winner of the season opener in Adelaide. Row 9 is JP Kinkanpa in truck 42. And Stefan Generic. It's a very colorful orange and purple truck. The two Ursus trucks are in row 10, Steve White and Fidrik Arneson. Brandon Cutmore and Quinton Voss in row 11. New boy Yaropolk Petrovic in for Kenan Ardoglu in the 54 truck. And Ryan Nittlefield. And shotgun on the field, truck number 44, David Bloom. He's had a bit of a troubled week, but that is not to be expected. David Bloom, one of only 2 Rams in the field, so we'll have to see how things go for Bloom from the back of the grid, who had a decent outing in Adelaide. And when I mean decent, I mean he picked up the pieces when everyone else was losing their heads. As Sandra Sessler brings the field to the green flag, truck number 18. The second round of the Rejectrucks Super Series. She's got Dmitry Vitkin in the 13 on the outside of the front row. Watch out for him. And, of course, Yaelin Mori was quick in practice. Here we go. The second race is green as the field screams, "Past me" down the front straightaway. There used to be a chicane right there, but the field is not using that. They're going to be using the layout that the Champ cars used to take right down here into turn 1. Sessler, the 18 truck, as Mori sweeps past, and Yaelin Mori into the lead of the race. In truck 99, Yaelin Mori, the 99 machine, into the lead of the race. The number 99 Toyota. He wasn't really looking strong in practice, but late in the practice session, this team really seemed to find something, and Mori was suddenly very, very fast. So, we'll have to see what Mori can do with today, but he's stretching his legs already. This 16-lap event. As Yaelin Mori begins to pull away, Ryan Zimmer has moved up into third in the 31 Holden, as Vitkin has gone backwards just a little bit. So Mori from P3 on the grid, already up to P1. Looking a bit further back in the field, the two Rojo trucks, nose to tail. I think there's going to be a lot of local support for the two of them, especially for Ernesto Reyes. Let's have a look at where he is. And there we see the two Rojo trucks side by side. Hard to tell which is which from the back. There we go. Truck 10, Ernesto Raya making a move on his teammate, as it looks like we got the 11 machine making a move on Vitkin coming into the first corner. As you see Richie Foley in the 15, the orange and black 15 truck making some headway, as it looked like Marco was able to complete the pass on Vitkin. Speaking of that team, here's Marco's teammate, Jackie Gardner, trying to make some headway. He's back in 13th. So, it looks like there's some damage on the side of that 4 truck. I'm not quite sure if there was contact with anyone else. I see a little bit of damage on Delvecchio's truck, a 22 machine, the first of the 2 Dodge Rams in the field, the other being, well, the Ram trucks, I should say. They used to be Dodges quite some time ago, but not anymore. Yaelin Mori in the 99, though, still leading the race. But he's got Sessler all over him like a bad smell. As we see her coming through the Champ Car version of the Peraltada corner, down the main straightaway. As Mori, the 99 Toyota, still leading. Sessler driving for James Davies in second. And Ryan Zimmer, who has got a fair bit of experience in open wheel racing, trying his hand here in the Rejectrucks Super Series, sitting in third as Sessler makes a bid for the lead. Sessler pokes her nose inside. Mori, he's on the curb, doesn't quite have the grip there that he needs. Mori was being very, very wary of Sessler there. So, looked like, I think, if Mori didn't want to jump the curbs and run into Sessler, so clearly these two drivers not wanting to take each other out too early on in the going. On that last lap, Fredrik Arneson moved up into 21st position. He dropped back a little bit on the start in the number 5 truck, so the Ursus machine of Arneson not having the best of starts. And the Ursus team not having a good week in general because Steve White is only in 19th. They've been looking for some speed with those trucks. But anyways, Yaelin Mori, the 99 that we're still focused on. Let's go a bit further back to find the winner of the first race, and by default the championship leader, Svangerai, right here, the number 90 truck. I thought they'd have an actual paint job on there, but I don't know, they don't have one right now. But either ways, this 90 truck with Svangerai, he's going to be trying to get up, of course, into the top 10 to pad his points lead. But, of course, Yaelin Mori might have something to say about that, as well as Sandra Sessler, who is running very well at present. So, Svangerai, truck number 90. As we look back, that looks like Cutmore making a move in turn 1. Or no, that's De Glide. Maybe that was the Rick De Glide Jr. Or no, that might have been, yes, that was Brandon Cutmore. Those trucks do look fairly similar. But of course, Cutmore, the number 3, has some blue, whereas the number 7 has more black on it. So Brandon Cutmore, as we look here at the back of the field, which is sort of what we do here in Rejectrucks, is who cares really about what's going on at the front? We are looking for some more shenanigans that are going on at the back of the field, which makes me kind of disappointed that David Bloom hasn't crashed yet. But that being said, Brandon Cutmore in the 3 is trying to work his way through the field. I was expecting a little bit more from the Acura Plus One trucks, but then again, they might have just slipped up in qualifying because they just didn't seem to have the speed in those SHPs. But as things are going, Brandon Cutmore has got a little bit of work to do, as Petrovic trying to make a move as well on the Arneson truck. Pretty much single file going down the main straightaway. I don't see anyone really poking their nose out yet, as we're 1/4 of the way through. Most teams think that there's going to be a pit stop that'll need to be made, so we'll see when those happen. As I see Jeffries looks like he's making a move there in the 91, as Lance Brown in the 41 was also trying to make a move. That's putting Petrovic in the 54 down a place. Now Petrovic was kind of named at the last minute because you might notice that the team still has Kenan Artaglu's name still on the roof of that 54 truck, but they said they'd have that sorted out by the next race at I do believe Walt Disney World. So that'll be a little bit exciting to see the Rejectrucks at Disneyland. And here we go with Yaelin Mori in the 99, who's sitting up in second position. Still, he's got Sessler ahead of him. And everything seems to be pretty much, everyone seems to be kind of waiting for that pit stop to sort of come around, because there's been some concerns about tire wear, especially the right side tires seem to be burning off a little bit more than what was expected. Granted, these are Goodyear tires that everyone's running, and if anyone's seen NASCAR races before, they know how much Goodyear sucks, so that shouldn't exactly be a surprise. Now, as we see, looks like Ernesto Raya is making some headway in the number 10 truck, so he's moved his way up to 4th in his Toyota, gotten around the number 11 machine of Marco. So Jochen Marco down a spot, and it looks like the other Rojo truck with Canadian Terry Stein might be having a peek on the Jochen Marco truck. So there is Terry Stein. Not a whole lot of shenanigans, looks like, but it looks like Brandon Cutmore has gone down another position, and something may have gone wrong with the 3 truck, because we appear to have lost him on scoring. And yes, Brandon Cutmore into the pit lane. Wonder if there was any drama that preceded this with Brandon Cutmore. So he's come into the pits. I don't think that was scheduled. I don't see any damage on that truck. But of course what that means is that he's actually elevated David Bloom a position. And as you can see, that has cost Cutmore a lot of time. 55 seconds behind the leader, so Brandon Cutmore has his work cut out for him. Unless he's trying some kind of strategy that nobody's seen before, or that no one... And yep, here comes the whole field in. So look, most everyone pitting. So it looks like Brandon Cutmore, that was a scheduled stop. It looks like they might be trying to capitalize here. That's a little earlier than I was expecting. I certainly thought that these teams would be able to go a little bit further than this. But granted that Rejectrucks Super Series officials do mandate that everyone makes at least one pit stop each race. That this is not really a major surprise. Watching Sandra Sessler, the race leader. Has anyone stayed out? Steve White, Svanjere, Delvecchio, Generic, and Geinhardt Jr. So it looks like most of these guys are running sort of in the midfield. And we'll have to see where they come out after this pit stop cycle. I think these guys might be ruining the fact that they stayed out. We'll have to see how everything shapes out. Marco appears to be the big winner, though, in the 11, because I think he got ahead of Sessler. Yes, so I wonder, did somebody take 2 tires instead of 4? The gap would certainly suggest that, as the gap that Marco had just put in on the 18 suggests that he took 2 tires, or if he's really bold, took none. But I'm willing to bet that he only took 2 tires on the 11 truck. So Marco, Jochen Marco, really throwing the dice here in the 11. We'll have to see if what he's got, what he has for his strategy is going to work out for him. I think he might be putting himself in a box. I think Sasha Hawk in the 68 truck had a bit of a pit lane miscue because Hawk scored in last at the moment, dropped way down the order in the 68 truck. So it appears that Sasha Hawk's day not going all that well. That's a bit of a disappointment considering that is one of the nicer looking trucks in the field. Brilliant. And we have some damage on the back of one of the Rojo trucks. I think that's Terry Stein in the 9. There may have been some pit lane contact. Yes, that was Stein. I'm going to go back and check where that came from. Well, that wasn't even in the pit lane. That was on pit out. Because, of course, the start-finish line is after the pit exit here. As he's behind... Oh, Quentin Voss is in trouble. So that's the 40 blowing smoke out. So Quentin Voss is out of it. As Stein got held up. And Foley had nowhere to go but right into the back of the 9. Because apparently Quentin Voss is dropping oil or something all over the racetrack. So big disappointments for Quentin Voss, Richie Foley, and for Terry Stein. But it hasn't appeared to have cost Stein too much in the way of track position. As Jochen Marco is enjoying a 3-second lead at the moment in the number 11. Now Terry Stein, he'll find that the rear end is becoming a little bit, well, tail happy. It'll be a bit loose going through some of these slower corners, especially with all that damage he has back there that can't be beneficial to him in the slightest. But, well, unless the team had a very tight setup on that truck, in which case that might be a bit of an improvement. But, of course, that would be, well, pretty extreme circumstances, I would have to think. Manny Geinhardt Jr., teammate to Sandra Sessler right here, the 17. He's got some experience on this track before, so we'll have to see what he's able to do here. Running in 7th right now, as you might be able to see on the monitor on the right. But as Marco still leads, Sessler 2nd, but gaining. Sandra Sessler in the 18 truck is gaining on Jochen Marco. Marco might be a bit of a sitting duck on that tire strategy. So, I think Marco, as we got the 91 truck of Middlefield moving his way up to 7th. I said the Jefferson trucks didn't have a good start to the weekend, but it looks like he's sort of doing his best Truly impression here in the top 10, but Ryan Middlefield, he's holding on to a points position, and that's what he needs. He's thinking big picture, looking for points. He'll take... I think this looks like a man who will take 7th or 8th if it'll help out a championship bid, rather than risk getting no points at all. So, Ryan Nittlefield doing everything he can, looks like, to get himself a good result today. As you look up at Ernesto Raya, who is really beginning to hound the back of Yaelin Mori, and that means Ryan Zimmer has gotten around Yaelin Mori in that lap. So, there you see Mori in the 99, back to 4th, but still a solid day for the Nikki Camion team. Ryan Zimmer, the 31, now sitting in 3rd. There was some reports that Zim Sports IFRC driver Silvio Rinaldi would be taking part in this race. Of course, Rinaldi is here with the International Formula Reject Challenge, the IFRC here. But when the entry list was published, Rinaldi's name was not on it, so we almost saw a 26th reject truck on the grid. Ryan Zimmer, though, holding on to 3rd in truck 31. And it looks like Ryan Nittlefield, I also failed to mention, is also going to be participating in the International Formula Reject Challenge in the driver of the 91. So he's also pulling a bit of a double duty. That'll be a bit of a stressful season, I would think, for someone like Nittlefield in the 91. But we'll have to see if he's able to actually do that, or whether or not he's only going to be doing a couple of races in that 91 truck. But the way he's driving suggests that he's committed to running a full season here, and that he is points racing, because Nittlefield currently sitting in 6th place. As Sessler's gone a bit wide, coming off the last corner, and the 11 truck is in the pit lane. Marco is bailed for the pit lane. So, Jochen Marco, apparently that wasn't going to work. I didn't think that strategy was going to work. That was a very bold choice by Marco to go for the lead, but he was losing a lot of ground each lap. I don't think he would have been able to hold on to it anyway, but that was definitely someone throwing the dice. But considering that the rest of the field pitted after, 6 laps, and this is a 16-lap race, do the math, I think some teams may be in again. Yes, it looks like Steve White is in. Petrovic in the 54 is in the pit lane. And David Bloom is probably in because he needs a Mountain Dew or something like that. But Sandro Sessler, Sandro Sessler now back into the lead with Ryan Zimmer 2nd, Yaelin Mori 3rd, Raya in 4th. Gardner has moved his way up to 5th, and Ryan Nitfield is in 6th position. I meant to say Nitfield, not Nittlefield. My mistake. Sorry. Apologies to all of the Ryan Nitfield fan base out there. Anyways, in 7th, as Terry Stein, who's hanging on to that thing, hanging on to it, and Manny Geinhardt Jr., Stefan Generic, and Lance Brown make up the 10 points scoring positions. Anyways, Sandra Sessler, truck 18, back into the lead of the race with Ryan Zimmer beginning to hound. We're beginning to hound her as we begin the 12th lap of 16 here at Mexico City. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, and running in the whoa, Sessler sliding that thing a bit wide, as we noticed that on the scoring monitor, the 22 of Antonio Del Vecchio pops his way up into the top 10. He made a real big run for it, as you might remember, in Adelaide, in the final race, the first race of the championship, I meant to say. But he made a real big bid for the win, and only barely lost that one, but he has now popped his way into the top 10. So, the 22 truck has moved up into 10th. This is the one of only 2 Rams in the field, and the other one being David Bloom, but this is the only Ram that people actually care about, because Del Vecchio is actually driving it quickly, and right in front of him is looks like Dimitri Vitkin, so Del Vecchio might have lost a place on that lap. And it looks like he might have to Dimitri Vitkin, the oldest driver on the grid. And truck number 13. So, Dimitri Vitkin in the 13 truck, oldest driver in the grid. He's heading his way into the pit lane in his Chevrolet. JP Kankanpa in as well. The 15 of Foley is in. Lance Brown, Stein is in. You see Gardner into the pit lane as well. Looks like most of the leaders are in, as you can see right there at the end of the pit lane right there. The pit selection for Reject Truck Super Series is based on it's contact between the Rojo trucks in the pit lane. Trucks 9 and 10. So that's not going to go over too well, but they're going to roll with it anyway. Zimmer looks like he's going to win the race off the pit lane, as Stefan Generic takes the lead on the virtue of staying out an extra lap in truck number 14 with Geinhardt Jr. in the 17 doing likewise, and Del Vecchio and Svangirai. Julius Svangirai in the truck number 90, winner of the first race, rolling the dice today. Ryan Zimmer in the 31. I wonder, did he take 2 tires? He might have. I think the 31 team might have done 2 tires here, and they're going to try to hold on because they noticed what the 11 team had done earlier, and they noticed that the 11 truck of Marco, who is right back there in the fight, was able to hang on for a few laps, but that he was losing a lot of ground. So Ryan Zimmer, that 2-tire stop might be a winning move for Zim Sport. We know Ryan Zimmer has the talent, but whether or not he has the luck has been another story altogether. He was third in the IndyCar Championship last year. Ryan Zimmer, the 31 truck, trying to hope to see if he can claim his first Reject Trucks Super Series win. And only, of course, the series' second ever race. As you see, everyone else that stayed out that extra lap hitting the pit lane as well. They've thrown the dice, but that's appeared to not going to come up too well for them. As Ryan Zimmer in the 31 now officially scored as the race leader, over 3 seconds over Sandro Sessler in one of the James Davies trucks, and Yaelin Mori in a solid third. And as you see back there, it looks like we've got the Marco truck in 4th, and Raya, truck number 10, Raya in 5th. See where the 14 truck of Generic came out. He's shown as being in 6th place, but is that the 11 truck slowing? Do we have a problem here with Marco? I think Marco in the 11 is slowing a little bit. I'm not sure what... Oh, there's damage on the 11. There's some damage to truck number 11 with just a handful of laps to go. See where that came from, or if whether or not that came earlier. He's running with Yaelin Mori and Sandra Sessler. Coming into the first corner. Oh, he's trying to go 3 wide, it looks like. No, oh, he gets into the back of Sessler, spins it out, and Ernesto Raya nowhere to go. So, well, that was interesting. He sort of, that was sort of self-inflicted for Joaquin Marco in truck number 11. Big disappointment there. He had a pretty good run going, but it's hard to blame anyone for that other than Marco, and he was the one that paid the price for it. So that was sort of instant karma, you might say. But that was, I think, just a bit of aggressive driving and trying to be very aggressive, and it just didn't work out. But anyways, Ryan Zimmer in the 31 has actually opened up his lead a little bit. With just 2 laps to go, I think Ryan Zimmer could be looking at his first win, as Ernesto Raya looking at potentially his first podium, and Yaelin Mori is moved up into 2nd. So Mori, the early leader, moving up into 2nd, with Sandra Sessler now coming under attack from the number 10 of Raya. As Julius Svangirai, I've noticed, has moved up into the points in truck number 90. So, the number 10 truck of Raya hoping to impress his home crowd with a podium here. Gardner sitting back there in 5th in case anything should go wrong. And Stefan Generic, Terry Stein, Lance Brown, and Julius Svangirai, the rest of the top 10 and the point scorers. And of course, Manny Geinhardt Jr. is just outside the points. He's hounding the back of the 90 truck. As, oh no, Geinhardt's actually gotten by him already. Manny Geinhardt Jr. has already gotten by the 90 truck, and he's moved up into 10th. As you can see there, Terry Stein, from that damage he had, so that's also self-inflicted damage. This truck looks like it was in a demo derby or in David Bloom's backyard for 3 hours. Anyways, Terry Stein trying to hold on to 8th position there with that damaged truck, as we get the white flag signaling 1 lap to go. Ryan Zimmer, I think that pit call was definitely a winning move, as you have a lot of trucks battered and bruised, but Only one truck is listed as out of the race, and that is Quinton Voss in the 40 truck. David Bloom, I would like to point out, is still running, but he's 30 seconds behind Wayne Shepherd in 23rd. So, other than that, it looks like it's been a not a trouble-free afternoon for Ryan Zimmer, the Australian in the truck number 31, the Zim Sport machine. But it looks like he could be well on his way to his first series victory. But still got half a lap to go. He could still Hildebrand it and hand over the win to Yaelin Mori.